Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the September 19th regular business meeting of the Board of Education. Please rise for the pledge. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So welcome back, everybody. I hope
Great to be back.
I hope the first 2 weeks of school was wonderful for everybody. And before anybody else says it, no, we didn't plan to look like twins today. Yes. Of course, only you would want that.
Well, you can have on me.
I'm just gonna make this a little. At this time, I need a motion to docket 3-88 through 3-91.
So moved.
Second. Okay, I had a comment on that.
And yeah, I'm getting that far.
Sorry.
Any questions
Well, question,
on which docket?
388.
Hmm?
Okay. Maybe I've got it backwards, but on 382, 383, 384, the three transportation packets, I thought I was yes and everybody else was no.
No,
As opposed to-
we were yes to denying. You were yes to
yes.
denying and no, and then no to the.
Yes,
other
that it
one.
was no and no
Right.
was yes. Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Got it.
Okay, any other questions? All in favor? Aye, motion passes. Report of committees. I haven't had any, we haven't had any committees this year yet. I haven't had any meetings with Nassau Suffolk until next week. And the following week. So PTA, PTSA and SEPTA. So PTSA, do you have a report?
Sure, I do. Okay. So we have our membership drive going on. Please join the PTSA. We can use every last one of you. Sign up your students as well. That's what the S stands for. Our social is coming up November 9th at King Umberto's. So if anyone has any items they want to donate or for a basket or even a complete basket to raffle off, we'd appreciate that. We'll be putting tickets on sale soon. The Senior Fashion Show Committee has a clothing drive Saturday, October 7th to raise some funds. So save your clothes that you're gonna toss out. They get money for each pound of clothes that they have. The truck will be in the front of the South Building from 8 a.m. to 12:30 that day. And they have a comedy night fundraiser coming up on January 21st, so save the date. PTSA also has a fundraiser at Wayback Burgers, who is owned by one of our own alumni. And it's going to be October 9th and October 16th from 3 p.m. to 6.
And did you say, I'm sorry, that the social is at King Umberto's in
Yes.
Elmont? Do we have any PTA representatives in the audience?
My name is Patricia Bender. I'm the treasurer of PTI. So first, I would like to thank everyone who stopped by our table. It was very successful. We had a lot of engagement. We currently have a plant sale going on. All orders and money must be due no later than Wednesday, October 4th. This is a cash only fundraiser, and money has to be accompanied with your order form, just as a reminder. We also have spirit wear for all 3 elementary schools. Each school has its own online store. The spirit wear things can be found on our social media page. And the spirit wear website closed on September 27th. We started our World's Finest Chocolate Bar sale. Return order form on that. Return the order form or order from our website. Each box is $60. Picture day for all 3 elementary schools is Friday, October 13th. And then membership can also be purchased by visiting our website. Those who are not members. And you can also buy the magnets and the car and crock kids. Or committee kids, or yourself. And our first meeting is September 26th, 7:30, George Washington Cafeteria. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook.
Thank you. Patricia, that's a joint meeting with SEPTA, correct?
Yeah.
On the 26th? Okay. And do we have any SEPTA representatives in the audience? Just sure. Okay, so for SEPTA, the same would hold true as PTA. They're holding their membership drive. The links can be found on their social media website as well. And they're having a joint meeting with PTA next Tuesday, the 26th, in the George Washington cafeteria. Thank you very much. Our student representative, Madison Celestin.
My name is Madison Celestin. I'm a member of student council for the grades 9 through 12. Here's an overview of the activities happening this month. The members of student council held their first meeting last Thursday and are already busy planning a fun and creative Spirit Week and pep rally. Spirit Week will take place Tuesday, September 26th to Friday, September 29th. Look for our dress themes to be announced later this week. Pep rally will take place on Friday, September 29th. This year, we're happy to announce that our 7th and 8th grade students will be joining us in our pep rally celebration. Our Mr. and Miss West Hempstead candidates are busy creating beautiful displays, creative posters, and entertaining campaign videos for the competition, which will be held during Spirit Week. The winners will be announced at the pep rally on Friday, September 29th. The members of Key Club are excited to be kicking off our Thanksgiving food drive with their annual Stuff the Bus event during homecoming Saturday, September 30th. We'll be collecting non-perishable food items for families in West Hempstead. If you are planning to attend the game, please drop off your items at our bus by the entrance of the football field. The Key Club will be set up to assist you. If you cannot attend the game, you can always drop off your donations to West Hempstead Secondary School backing. See Stuff the Bus flyer for a list of the most needed items. Ms. Reyes is pleased to announce the new crochet club for 7th to 12th graders. They will hold their first meeting on Wednesday, October 4th, after school in the North Library. The crochet club will teach students the basics of crocheting. We will make projects and gifts. Ms. Reyes learned how to crochet many years ago and looks forward to passing on the joy of crocheting. Help us spread the word about this new club. The fall season for athletics is underway for grades 7 through 12. Come support our student athletes and watch a game. Homecoming is Saturday, September 30th. Come and march in the parade. The parade will start at 12:30 p.m. at Chestnut Street. The varsity football game is at 2 p.m. against Oyster Bay High School. Congratulations to our students, athletes, and coaches in the secondary athletic program for grades 9 through 12. West Hempstead Secondary School was recognized by the New York State Public High School Athletic Association by being recognized as one of 8 schools in Nassau County to receive a sportsmanship award. Last year, for the 2022 to 2023 school year, we did not have one student disqualified from an athletic contest. Great job by our coaches for promoting sportsmanship with our student athletes.
Thank you very much.
Excuse me, can I ask a question?
What?
Yes, sir. I was just wondering for the Stuff the Bus, because we do the parade and I have a lot of families that come, so they meet at Chestnut and then walk.
They can leave it at Chestnut.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna move on to superintendent's report.
Good evening, everyone. I want to extend my gratitude to everyone involved in the successful opening of our school, from the dedicated staff who tirelessly prepared the classroom learning spaces to the clerical, custodial, maintenance, food service, transportation, and administrative staff who meticulously coordinated every detail. The hard work and commitment have ensured a smooth start to the academic year. To parents and guardians, thank you for entrusting us with your children's education and unwavering support. We have created an environment where students can learn, grow, and thrive together. Your collective efforts have set a positive tone for the year ahead, and I look forward to a year filled with learning, growth, and success. Thank you all for your invaluable contributions to our school community. That being said, please accept my sincere apologies for any inconvenience you or your child may have experienced due to the transportation issues. We understand how crucial a reliable transportation service is for our students and their families. In this regard, we have communicated closely with the bus company to resolve these issues. I'll be posting and discussing our Designing Learning Framework in the weekly update. As stated in the past, we have been diligently learning and applying a tool belt of instructional strategies that we can use to support all student learning. Our district, led by Ms. Riley, will be applying to NICED to become a planned pilot school district. As stated on the NICE website, Performance-Based Learning and Assessment Networks program is exploring the potential for New York's educational assessment strategy to be reimagined in a way that purposely fosters high-quality instructional opportunities, provides authentic measures of deeper learning, and better prepares students for college and the workplace. Designing Learning Framework is an educational approach that we use to engage students as well as close the aspiration gap. Framework encompasses several key principles aimed at enhancing the learning experience for students and staff. They include connection for core content, acceleration, not remediation, rethinking success criteria, higher level thinking, student agency, authentic work, and technology infusion. Our theme for the year, as you may have seen on the World Wide Web, is this idea of we, W-H-E. With we as our guiding light, we are inspired to explore, discover, and achieve wonders that lie ahead. Allow me to share some of the ways one could envision completing the idea of we throughout this 2023-2024 journey. Wonder and curiosity, holistic education, empathy and humanity, ways of change, expressions of art and culture, wellness and health, leadership and collaboration. You want to look out for more as I have some ideas and speaking with some people in the community about maybe starting a committee or coalition of the willing to explore these ideas further and better unite all of us in the work that we do. One last mention, this Thursday, starting at 6, we have back to school night at secondary school. It's an E&L workshop at 6:15, I believe. The college night for seniors and their families begins, and then 7 o'clock to 9 p.m. is back to school. Thank you, everybody. Have a great year.
Thank you very much. We've now reached this period for residents and or employees of the district to address the board. This individual will be limited to 3 minutes of non-confidential agenda items with an overall maximum of 20 minutes for this part of the meeting, should that be necessary. If you are in the virtual audience, please raise your hand. If you are in the public audience, please raise your hand and I will call on you accordingly. Are they unmuted in the audience? Thank you. Mr. Zelig, you have a question?
Yes, thank you. Thanks for the presentation. So thank you for providing the information on UPK for the last 2 years. I just had a couple of follow-up questions on it. So based on the information for the 90 spots in 2022-23, we had 79 students. And as of September 5th, or the current year, we have 81 students so far for this year. How do we determine when to open up a new section of 18 per class? So when we have 72 and let's say another student signs up, do we then open a class? Was wondering if I could get a little more clarity on this. And then just one other point, and then if you don't mind just answering, would it make more sense to have a second and third provider for overage or to let the community benefit from unfilled spots? Does this money get returned, or is it not paid by the government? My understanding is other districts share the spots with private daycare providers too. So wouldn't it make sense to? I see we have a number of local daycare providers not included. ABC 123 Childcare, Deborah Freed, Gone Amy, Hebrew Academy, Light Angel, Little Hands Group, Luna Lynn, Petty's Playhouse, RDA, Rochelle's Paradise, CPOM, Shine Bright, Special Treasures, and Winners Academy. So if you could just respond on that. Thank you.
Oh, it's the first part. To answer your question, sir, we contract for sections, not seats. And your number is probably correct for last year. I'm not going to debate that. I'm not sure. We do currently have 83 seats and with about 2 more to enroll. My understanding this week, so we'd be up to 85.
And the seats,
So
I'm sorry.
you can go.
No, the seats for that program are available to anyone in the district. So if somebody applies for them, they can come and attend that program, which is run through the district, but by a private company.
They are for the whole community. The seats are for the whole community. So if we had, for example, let's use round numbers, 120 students that wanted to be a part of the pre-K program, by law, UBK rules and regulations, we would have to hold lottery. We do a lottery anyway, regardless. That's how that would work, but the seats are for everyone, every school age child at that age level in the community.
And if the seats don't get filled, like last year, the 11 seats that weren't filled, what happens to them?
It didn't get filled.
The
So
classroom
do
is
we
still
return
being
the federal
used.
money to the government or get less money for that? And instead of sharing it with the private daycares or figuring out another option? Just trying to get an understanding of like how it works with, you know, if we don't fill the seats.
Well, once again, as I stated earlier, we contracted for for sections, not for seat. Maybe in the future, we could look at that a little bit differently, but take that as a.
Okay, yeah, I think it would be good. Just my understanding is other
Okay.
districts do that.
Ms. Gazali, I have other people that have their hands up at this time.
No problem. Thank you.
Ms. Magarachi?
Two things. One question for, both are about the pre-K. One, the question, it is for West Hempstead residents only, even though it's run by Scope, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I want to say that this is my first experience with the pre-K. I bring my, little Jessica there every day. I will say the first 3 days were a little crazy with all the crying in the parking lot, but by day 4, I stopped.
Yeah, but you have.
It was a lot better. And as usual, like I see on soccer fields and everything else with this age group, you know, in the beginning, they go in a little hesitant because of the unknown. But now, I mean, we're not even how many weeks in, and these kids are going in, coming out with what they did and how excited and the whole setup. I got to be there for the open house when they had it because mommy was working and we met there. Very impressed. I will say between the teachers, how much the kids tell me what they did, how the day is going. I kudos and thank you for putting the program together.
Thank you. Mr. Ramelt, I see you have your hand up.
Yes, thank you very much. As you may be aware, approximately, I would say about 2 to 4 weeks ago, Newsday had an article about the expenditure per student of various school districts in Nassau and Suffolk County. West Hempstead was among the highest of a per pupil expenditure. Now, I am well aware that there are certain fixed costs over which we have no control, particularly state health costs and pension costs and other costs. And I realize that we are dealing with these fixed costs with a smaller enrollment potentially than other districts. But I was just wondering if someone could give a somewhat of an explanation as to why our per pupil expenditures are significantly higher than those of other districts. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your question, sir, and nice to hear from you. What Newsday does is take the total budget and divide it by the number of students that are in the state aid information, but that doesn't include every kid that has a piece of the budget. I hate to say it like that, but that's just the reality of it all. So it's not that simple. And if you remember, I don't know if you were part of the meetings last year or the year before, we did do a breakdown of that to get more accurate number. But yeah, no, it's something we always look at year after year. We did pass along savings to the community last year via retirements. And once we get the final number on the year-end audit, you'll see that you'll see that for all the arguing that went on last year, we will have spent almost all of the budget. That includes reserves. So people's arguments about us having all this money, we're going to have less money now than we did last year, which is problematic as we move forward. Which is returning to your original thought. Newsday just does simple math, and it's not that simple, but it's a fair point. You want to extend?
The basic gist of it is, in layman's terms, because this is how I look at it and this is how it really works out. You cannot take I'm just gonna round about $70 million budget and divide it by 1,800 kids when we're servicing well over 1,800 students. So that's what they did. They took that number and they just divided it by the students that are physically in our public schools. And you can't do that because there's a lot of money spent, whether it's busing or services or whatever outside of the district. So that number is not an accurate per pupil number.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the
You're welcome.
explanation.
You're welcome. Do we have any other questions in the audience at this time? Ms.
I'm just gonna
Hoffman?
throw this out.
Oh. Don't throw anything at me.
Educator resident. Have we as a district taken, there is a program called Take a Look at Teaching, where we build our own education. We, try and encourage kids. I'll tell you all about it. At another time. But there, it's a program for high school students that might be interested in education, and we have such a diverse population, and we're looking to grow our own. And that's what we do when you bring in this Take a Look at Teaching program. I know Oceanside has it, and it's been very successful. And I'd be glad to share more of that when I have more time.
All right. All good. Mr. Ramel, your hand is still up. Do you have another question or did you, oh, there it goes. Gone. Anybody else have another question in the audience? Okay. So at this time, we're going to move on. There will be another period for district residents to ask questions later in the evening. So at this time, I need a motion to move docket 3-92.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. No.
Not here this evening, but I want to thank our Director of Physical Education, Health and Athletics for his service to the district. Over the years, he has demonstrated the habits of mind for our students, teachers, and staff. His commitment to promoting physical fitness, health education, and athletic program has enriched the lives of numerous students. Under his direction, our district's physical education and athletics program has fostered a culture of sportsmanship, teamwork, and striving for excellence. His tireless efforts have instilled essential life skills that will serve them well in the future. Chris has promoted health and wellness and left a mark on our school community, and we are grateful for his dedication and impact on our students' lives. As he embarks on the next chapter of his journey, we extend our sincere thanks and best wishes for a well-deserved retirement. Thank you, Chris, for your service to our district.
At this time, I need a motion to move dockets 3-93 through 3-106. So moved.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Any? I go to 106.
Yeah, you do.
I know my line stopped really far ahead.
Yeah.
I need a motion to move dockets 3
Come on in.
All right, I'll wait a second. No, just kidding. I need a motion to move dockets 3, it's a little creepy, 3-107 through 3-118.
So moved. Second.
Bert. Kurt.
First.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. We have no old business at this time. New business, I need a motion to move the following policies to our policy meeting at the beginning of October. It's docket 3-119 through 3-113.
So moved. Second.
Any questions?
Figured not discussed.
They're gonna be discussed at the next meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. So in front of you all are our current board goals. Fall under board privilege of the floor. These are the goals that we've streamlined and put in place, last year. So I just want everybody to read them and see if there's something that you feel that we should be changing at this point. If not, let me know if you want to table it until October because you feel that there's something that we should be adjusting. I mean, we feel that this is a pretty well-rounded. So if everybody is okay with that. We're all in, oh, I'm sorry, Bert. So
What?
You were still reading. I didn't want to jump ahead.
No, I was starting to memorize.
Is everybody okay with Teresa moving ahead with these goals?
Yes.
Yes. I was the fastest meeting ever. Okay, so future meeting dates are on the back of the agenda, and we've now reached the second period for district residents and or employees of the district to address the board. Wait a minute, lost my time. This individual, what? I'm going to the-
meeting dates are in the back.
Oh, all right, they're not on the back of the agenda. Ask Teresa for them after the meeting.
Clarifying this, bro.
Yeah, I was changing the page. I didn't get that far. This individual will be limited to 3 minutes of non-confidential agenda items with an overall maximum of 20 minutes for this part of the meeting if needed. Just for future reference, I believe that our next regular meeting is the 17th next month, and the 10th is our, or the 3rd is our policy meeting. October 3rd is our policy meeting in this room at 7:30 p.m. Are there any questions in the audience? If you have a question in virtual audience, please raise your hand. If you have a question here, please raise your hand. This is Magarachi.
I would just like to comment, we just accepted Mr. Mastrada's retirement. Speaking as a former parent and somebody who's pretty involved in our community sports, I would like to really thank him for his many years. He always worked so well with the community organizations, helping us where we needed help, answering questions. Me personally, when I'm trying to coordinate something and I didn't know which field or how I could do this, he was always right there to answer questions. He always went, as far as a parent, above and beyond for the athletes and everything in his power to ensure good teams and enough teams and a place and a sport for every one of our kids that were looking for one, as long as I have known him. So I would just like to say thank you for his time, and he will sorely be missed.
Thank you very much. I did see Mrs. Merle, did you have your hand up?
No.
Mr. Zelig, you had another question?
Yes, thank you. Just circling back on the UPK. Do you mind just walking through the calculation? So I understand. So if we only fill 79 seats, right? Do we lose federal money for like the remaining 11 seats? I just want to understand how it works. Like, so last year, 11 seats that had 5,400 a seat. Does that mean we lost out as a community on $59,400 of federal money? Since we have the contract that says it has to be done by section, so we pay that money.
Mr. Zelig, your question was asked and answered. We the state gives us money to fill 5 sections. We contract for 5 sections through a private agency. Therefore, they are the private agency that is awarded the seats. The seats are available to anybody in West Hempstead School District that wants to attend that pre-K program. That's, if there are further questions that you have in regard to that we're not answering because we're not understanding, feel free to send an email and we will get you the answers you're looking for.
Yeah, I'm just trying to understand, like, do we return, does that full money get paid? Do we have to return it? How does it work?
We're contracted for 5 sections that can fill up to 18 seats apiece. We get money for 5 sections, and that's what we pay the company.
So we didn't lose any money. So like the full amount went to them, and we're keeping all the money from the government on that.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
That's not way,
It's not something.
He's not.
Alex, send me an email. I'll get you the exact answer tomorrow.
Yeah, no problem, because my understanding is there was a Form 10 SSA, which is an amendment of the
It's an
original.
it's an FS 10A that we fill out every year, sir.
And then the
Mr.
money
Zelli, if you're gonna talk over us, we can't answer your question. So if you could just wait 1 second, Mr. Reedman was answering you.
Yeah, no problem. Sorry about that.
Yes, as we do with all grants, we fill out an FS 10A and we do report everything back, and that's how they make the final determination. Like I said, send me an email tomorrow, just like you did the other day, and I will be happy to answer you.
Okay, appreciate it. So on the 10 SSA, you'd report a lower number, right? And then they would send a lower amount of money, is my understanding. If I'm wrong, I could send you an email. It's fine. I just wanted to clarify. That's all.
I can't answer a question to the information I don't have in front of me, so that's why I'm asking you to send me an email. We can do this all night, but it's not going to change it.
Okay, I'll send you an email. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any other questions in the audience at this time? Okay. Seeing there are no further questions in the audience, I do just want to repeat what Madison was saying before and what Ms. Johnson was saying before about the PTSA clothing drive is on Saturday, October 7th, outside the main entrance of this building. They pay them per pound for any clothing and like shoes and small toys, I think, or stuffed animals, right?
The flyer is up on our social media.
That you could drop off. So any poundage is very helpful to them to raise money. There is a flyer up on the social media webpage, and Jen's gonna come pick my stuff up next week so she can bring it up here. Also, Key Club Food Drive is very, very near and dear to my heart. It is starting now. It is something that we do every year, and it is very important that we help feed the families that can't feed themselves for Thanksgiving. We do a lot to make sure that those families get fed, and it's a wonderful experience every year. So if you have anything that's non-perishable that you can donate at this time, we also take donations for turkeys. And then we run around
Like turkeys.
like chickens without heads, trying to get 70 turkeys or 45 turkeys, whatever it is. But we do get it every year. The last couple of years, we've actually had an organization that has donated all the turkeys to us. I don't know if that's going to happen this year or not, but she's a wonderful woman who doesn't even know any of us. She doesn't live in this district. She lives out of state. She runs an organization for her son's memory, and every year she's donated the money for us to go out and get the turkeys. So we'll see what happens this year, but the food is key because the pantry is a little empty right now. So it would be really helpful if you could donate whatever you can for us to be able to feed these things.
Karen, how long is the drive? I missed that.
It runs till the week before Thanksgiving. So Saturday at homecoming, or I should say next Saturday at homecoming, is when we start. You can bring it to any school building. They'll accept it in any school main office, and they'll also accept it in central office. And anybody that would like to donate, create a package for one family. If you want to adopt a family, you can do that as well. You can get in touch with Ms. Zulaga, who is the Key Club advisor, or you can reach out to me and I'll help you. But thank you very much. So anything you could donate would be appreciated. At this time, I want to say thank you to everybody for coming. And I need a motion to move into executive session for advice of counsel and to discuss personnel.
So moved.
Second by David. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Have a wonderful night, everybody. Good to see you back.